So what is hypnosis? What is this thing that I'm hoping to support you with and that we'd be using if you come to see me? Well, there have been a lot of myths said about hypnosis, a lot of things that you'll have probably seen in movies, read in books, heard in songs, whatever it might be. And that's how myths are generated. They're generated through popular culture, through misunderstandings, misconceptions and perceptions of what something is and what it actually means. We do this to ourselves all the time. And it actually the myth of hypnosis came from a book. It came from a book itself. The book was called Trilby. I think it was written in the 19th century. And it became incredibly popular. And in essence, it was about a villain called Svengali who fell for this damsel, this woman who was young and vulnerable. And he got her to a point, in essence, where she could sing with the most beautiful voice. And when he wasn't there, she couldn't do it. When he wasn't enthralling her with his hypnotic ability, she couldn't do it. And none of that's true, because where that voice came from was within her. And that's where all that potential comes from, is within us. And all we do with hypnosis is help somebody to find a way to access that, to see it within themselves and to find that possibility for themselves. And that's all he did, but it was misconstrued that he had power, that he could control her, and nobody can control you. Nobody can control anything that you do. Research tells us that it isn't possible. You may see stage hypnotism that looks like that's what's happening. But to be honest with you, a large proportion of it is just people running on stage who desperately want to be on stage. They want to be seen, they want to be heard, they want to do the thing, be entertained. Not the people who don't want that exposure to the public. And so a large portion of it is play acting in stage hypnosis. Some of it, will come through and people will have experiences or can have experiences. But none of those experiences that those people are having are done against their will. None of that's done without their consent subconsciously for what it is that's being offered to them. Because your unconscious mind is there to support you, to protect you. Its job is to protect you. Its job isn't to mislead you. And yet it does that at times. And the reason it misleads you is because it doesn't quite have all the information it needs to make a better judgment call for you to protect your system. And so we gather all of that information about how the world works, how we work, how other people work, how things are, what should be done, what shouldn't be done, what's right, what's wrong with me, what's wrong with them. And we gather all that information from a very young age. And it helps us sort of make sense of the world. But very little of it is actually 100% accurate, okay? And what we do is we explore that with you in hypnosis. But it's you who has the power, you who has the control throughout that entire experience. You can get up and walk away at any stage. You can reject anything that is said to you. The gist, one of the other myths is that you shouldn't be able to hear anything that's been said to you. Well, that's complete rubbish, because the whole concept is for you to be able to hear everything that is being said to you so that you can actually filter through it and pick the bits that you feel are useful for you, so that you can make a judgment call as to what's useful for you, and you can therefore make the changes that you feel are necessary for you.